Hi everyone, it's Peggy here. Welcome to this week's project video. This week I'm going to be making a vase or a pot using maple and walnut. As you see here, I'm making a circle on the walnut and cutting it to round on the bandsaw. And here I'm using the planer to plane down a couple of small maple blanks so they'll be perfectly flat, so they'll glue up nice and tight. Here I'm trying out the pieces together. Kind of looks like a birthday cake here. This is not the scenario I use, though, as you'll see. I do not use all of those. Here I've glued the first 3 blanks up, and I'm going to use a gallon of anchor seal and a bottle of resin on top of that to put some pressure on it. Here I'm marking the center after it's been glued up, the center on the bottom. I end up using a woodworm screw here, but in hindsight, I probably should have used a faceplate. I got a little bit of wobble at first. I did work it out, but should have used the faceplate. Here I'm marking the center of the top piece, the walnut. And here it is on the lathe. See a little bit of wobble there. So just starting very gently, trying to make the larger blanks round and to diminish the wobbling. And as you can see here, I've reversed it in the chuck, and it's not quite as wobbly, and I will start shaping. And as you can see here, I've started shaping the outside, trying to get the curve on the bottom and make it thinner on the top. So just going slow, trying to get some good cuts using a bowl gouge. And the lathe was about at an 850 RPM. So continuing to make the shape, kind of finalizing the shape here, using push and pull cuts and still with the bowl gouge. And at this point the lathe was around 1,000 RPMs. Really trying to make that top walnut piece as the standout in this to differentiate it from just any other vase or pot. Really think it would accent it well. Here I'm using the diamond parting tool to make 3 recesses for the Milliput. I'm going to be using the teal Milliput and the white. And I was just figuring it out really as I go along. I wasn't sure how wide I wanted them. Wasn't sure if I wanted 2 or 3. Ultimately, I did decide on 3 thinner lines around the, it's not quite in the middle, it's in the bottom middle. And there's the Milliput. And if you've ever used this stuff, you know that you have to mix thoroughly, equal amounts, and mix it until it's one color. And if you're a turner or a woodworker and you haven't tried this, it does a nice job at being a feature or being as subtle or as not subtle as you want. You can mix colors together and get a different kind of effect. I did that on another vase that I did a while ago. I'll link that video down below. I also have a playlist of wood turning with Milliput. So just mixing, mixing, mixing. So putting the white Milliput on the top and really trying to squeeze it in there. You have to get it in there really, really well, or you'll get empty spots when you turn it off. So I get it all in there and then go back around and make sure it's in there very tight. So it looks like a little bit of like overkill, like there's a lot in there, but you really want to push it down, and it's easy enough to turn the excess away. Doing the same thing with the teal Milliput, mixing equal parts. Mix thoroughly. If you don't mix thoroughly, it just won't harden correctly, and then you won't be able to turn it. It'll be soft and not turnable. Also, I'll put some links to Milliput in the description of the video. It's not expensive at all, and it really is great stuff. I've used it quite a bit. So here I am putting the teal in the middle. Same process, just getting it in there and then going back around with my thumbs and pushing it in, making sure it's really tight. So using the teal on the bottom stripe. And I let this harden overnight and then turn it off the next day. And for whatever reason, I lost or didn't film all of the turning off of the Milliput, so this is just doing that bottom one there. You get the idea, just go slow. I use the Easy Wood Tools negative rake. It seems to work the best. And you can also sand Milliput, so it's fine to sand the piece. I sanded from 100 grit to 600 grit. Probably don't need to go that high. 400 would probably be fine. Here's some sanding sealer, a mixture actually of sanding sealer and denatured alcohol. 70% sealer, 30% denatured alcohol. So getting that rubbed in, and I'll start with the axe paste after some steel wool here, as you see. Axe abrasive paste. Also a link in the description about where to find Axe. Also a wonderful product. Highly recommend. Here's the Axe polishing paste. This follows the abrasive paste. So rub it again thoroughly and then buff it off. And you'll see it come to a nice shine after this. Using some 5-minute epoxy to put the coin logo on the bottom.